Chapter 9. Live as a new being. Do not attach yourself to what is only temporary. You might already know that the world is a maya, an illusion, a dream. But that does not mean you should reject it. Live in it, but do not belong to it. Love, act, create, but do not become attached. Live consciously, knowing that everything that comes and goes is only a stage. The parable of the lotus on the water. One day, son asked his father, "Father, how can I live in the world without belonging to it?" Father smiled and took his son to a lake. On its surface, lotus flowers floated, pure and beautiful. "Look, my son, this flower grows in the water, but the water does not soak its petals. Raindrops may fall on it, mud may surround it, but it never ceases to be itself. It does not try to fight the water or reject it. It simply lives in it while remaining pure." Son pondered this, and the father added, "So should you. Live in the world, but do not let the world consume your heart. Own things, but do not let them own you. Love, but do not cling in fear. Be like the lotus. Live in the water, but do not let the water seep into you and make you heavy." Father to his daughter, "My dear, life is not something you should hold on to tightly. Look at the autumn leaves, beautiful, colorful. But when the time comes, they fall without fear. Likewise, everything in this world comes and goes." Father looked into her eyes. "Do not be afraid to love, act, create, but at the same time, do not let what is only a stage become your prison. Material things, status, even relationships, they all change like waves on water. But you are not limited to being just a wave. You are connected to the entire ocean. Remember that this world is only a stage on which we play our roles. Never forget who you truly are." The parable of the flowing river. A student asked his master, "Master, why do I keep losing what I love? People leave, things break, life disappoints me." The master asked him to fill a cup with water and take it to the river. "Now pour this water into the river," he said. The student did so, and the master asked, "Did you lose the water?" "No, it simply became part of something greater," the student replied. "It is the same with everything you lose," said the master. "Nothing is truly lost. It only changes its form. Do not attach yourself to the shape in which something came to you. Trust that the river of life always flows where it should." Father to his daughter, "I know that sometimes it hurts when something leaves, whether it's people, things, or moments you wish you could keep forever. But look at the river. Does it worry that water flows through it and cannot be held? No. It simply flows, trusting that each drop will reach where it is meant to go. The same is true for life, my dear. Everything that seems lost actually becomes part of something greater. The people you love, even if they leave, remain part of your story, your heart. The things that break make room for something new, and the moments that have passed still live within you, in your memory, in who you have become because of them. Do not grieve when the river of life takes away something you love. Perhaps at this very moment it is carrying it to an even more beautiful place. Allow yourself to trust. The parable of the king and the ring. A wise king asked his advisor to create a ring with an inscription that could help him both in times of joy and suffering. They debated for a long time until finally engraving the words, "This too shall pass." The king wore the ring all his life. When he was euphoric, he looked at it and reminded himself that the joy is not eternal. When he was in pain, he reminded himself that suffering too would pass. He understood that everything in this world is temporary, and so he learned to love without fear and to let go without regret. Father to his daughter. You see, my child, life is a constant change. When you are happy, it might seem that the state will last forever, but it too will pass. And when you're sad, when something hurts, it might seem like it will never end, but that will pass too. The wise king understood that attaching oneself to moments, both joyful and painful, only brings suffering. That is why he learned to enjoy what is beautiful without fearing loss, and he learned to endure difficult times, knowing that they would not last forever. I want you to remember this. When you feel sad, look into your heart and remind yourself that this is just one of an infinite number of waves of the oceans. And waves come and go. You do not have to fear them. You have something greater within you, a light that never fades. The parable of empty hands. A student spent many years accumulating knowledge, wealth, and recognition. One day he went to his master and said, "I have achieved so much. Can I now attain enlightenment?" The master smiled and handed him a cup of tea. As the student held it in his hands, the master suddenly knocked it out of his grip. "What are you doing?" the student exclaimed. "You cannot receive new tea if your hands are full," the master replied. "Just as you cannot accept true life if you are clinging to the old." The student understood. He left in silence, ready to let go of what was holding him back. A father to his daughter. Imagine you want to embrace someone you love deeply, but your hands are full. Books, phone, a bag full of old things. You cannot hug them until you let go of all that you are holding. It is the same with life. If you cling to the past, to beliefs that no longer serve you, or to fears that limit you, you have no space to accept what truly matters. The wise master wanted to show his student that true wisdom begins when we are ready to release what is old. It is not about forgetting everything we have learned, but about not holding on so tightly that we fail to notice the new things coming our way. So ask yourself, Does what I'm holding onto truly serve me? Am I ready to open my hands and allow life to fill them with something new? If so, it means you are ready for the next step. The parable of the actor on a stage. A young actor fell in love with the role he played in a theater production. Every day he stepped onto the stage as a king, until he forgot that beyond the performance, he was just an ordinary man. One day, the director said to him, "Tomorrow will be our final show." The actor panicked. "But I am the king! I cannot stop being him!" The director looked at him and said, "You have always been more than this role. It is merely an illusion. When the play ends, you will return to your true self. Life is the same. Our names, statuses, and desires are just roles we perform. Once we understand who we truly are, the illusion loses its power over us." Father to his daughter. My daughter, remember that life is like a dream. It can be beautiful, it can be difficult, but in the end, you wake up. If you are aware that you are dreaming, then you do not fear what happens within the dream. The father looked into his daughter's eyes and added, "Do not become attached to the material world, but do not reject it either. Play your role as best as you can, but never forget who you truly are."